Okay, today we're talking about solar systems and panels and power. And I have the expert here. Francisco is the number one guy that I know that knows everything. And I just want to just have kind of a conversation about what you do and how you do it. Um, it begins with the power grid. So talk about the power grid in Cabo.
Sure. Well, thanks, Michael, for having me. We started our company back in 2009. It's John Rice and my partner who started the company almost 15 years ago. We built a company. We're now 50 employee size.
Wow.
We're doing installations probably 36 per week. And I think it all started with making Mexico energy independent. We knew that it was just a matter of time until um, there was going to be power failures. And the development also has, Los Cabos has many areas where it's not served by the utility. So we do install systems for those amazing places out on the beach, on the coast. So one of the main problems and the main concerns that we see that it's increasing is that, and this is something that nobody or almost no one is aware of, which is the fact that we are pretty much like an island.
Mhm.
The power is 100% generated in La Paz, and then there are transmission lines that go from La Paz to Cabo. So with the growth that we've had, I mean, we love how the development has come up to, but the transmission lines and the power generation is starting to get compromised. And it's only going to get worse. I mean, our electrical demand is tend to increase. We don't see a lot of electric vehicles yet out in the streets, but we will. So that will start compromising the power and the quality of the power, meaning power outages, random power outages, brownouts, and of course the high cost of the electricity that we pay. It's important. So we are at a point, and with this 15 years of experience, we've pretty much tested, Michael, with every single battery and every single solar panel manufacturer to bring something to Los Cabos, which is an area that we are subject to receive hurricanes and storms. So we need to be very careful what we select and what we install for our clients, because as you know, Los Cabos is a very small market. So whatever you do, you need to make sure that you make it properly. So technology and the components that we use in our installations are proven to give 100% energy independence. Myself and many of our clients, they enjoy this benefit of not even knowing what an electric bill is. It's reliable, it's dependable, and we happen to have somewhere about 340 days of full sun. So why not taking advantage of it?
Well, as you know, I did this in this house, and I kind of did it as an experiment. I didn't have as much experience or understanding as you did, and so it was really just kind of like, does this technology really work? And if I'm going to tell other people about it, I have to try it myself first. So you did the installation at our house, and it's been absolutely bulletproof. We've enjoyed the service and the quality and the workmanship that you've provided to us. And my goal is to soon be 100% off the grid. I don't know, as a percentage, I'm probably what, 90% off the grid right now.
Probably 80, 85
So,
percent
so my goal is we've increased the capacity of my batteries. I have plenty of solar panels. I'm generating more than enough electricity to run the
Correct.
house and to do the batteries. But I want to be that person that doesn't get a bill. So
it's
put me on
it.
that list.
We can definitely get there. The and thank you for your trust. To be honest with you, it was something that we not any different from what we do on a daily basis
Mhm.
for your project is a standard. The whole installation, the aesthetics, and the components are very standard to what we you use in a daily basis. So it was very important for you to experience it,
Mhm.
no? And like right now, if we have a power outage, your day goes by and you have power, you have internet, your freezers and everything works. So I think as you mentioned, the number one goal would be to know that you have your house, you have a secure place where no matter what, you will always have power.
And it's really interesting because every person that I talk to about potentially installing one of these systems, everybody wants to talk about return on investment.
Mhm.
And if I spend X amount, how much am I going to save? And that's certainly a component, but that was really not my number one priority. In fact, I would say in the order of priority, it was maybe like the third or fourth in the scheme of things. Is number one, I never wanted to be without power. So I didn't want to be uncomfortable in the summertime, when the air conditioning is not working. I didn't want to be able to sleep at night. I wanted to have, like you said, internet. I even put a cistern under the garage. So I'm kind of like almost one of those people that are, off the grid. I have water. I have of course, my solar, my power, and I have Starlink. So I always have internet. So I'm never without anything by using your system. And that was the number one reason, was reliability, stability, and that I could depend on always having power. That was my number one. I would say number two, and you touched on it just briefly, but in Cabo, we have what I would describe as dirty power. And that fluctuation in power can burn up. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, whether it's my air conditioners, my refrigeration, my pool equipment. All this stuff is reliant on clean power, and we don't have that. So that was my number two objective, is to ensure that I always had clean power that wasn't going to damage my all my equipment. And then down the line was, hey, I'm going to get my money back because I'm never going to get another bill. And I would say a house like this, just to give people an idea, we have about 4,800 square feet of air conditioned space here. Our average utility bill would probably be $4,000 to $5,000 per month. So it's not like the U.S., where like in Houston, I think it was paying maybe 9 or 10 cents a kilowatt. Here we're paying 35 cents or something. So it's a very expensive commodity.
Yeah.
In Cabo. So that helps people to get over the hump.
Yeah, definitely. And know that those voltage fluctuations, what they really cause is that your appliances are starting to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the appliances that we all use, they're made for the US primarily. And they're very sensitive to the voltage that we have here. And the utility company is not going to say, so we blew your refrigerator, here's a check. You're going to have to replace that yourself. So when you have a system like ours with an inverter and a battery and the solar, the system is really qualifying the grid. It's saying, well, there's this power, I'm not going to use it. Is it safe for my owner? Mm-hmm. And if it's not, then it'll dump that power so that it'll give you clean power. So not only you're saving the equation of your savings, but primarily it's an asset in your house. And I truly believe that nowadays it's like something that you have to make that commitment to invest in a solar system like this. There is a return investment. It's not in the short term that we all expect it, no? But I've made significant analysis on economics, and the most important and interesting part is the internal rate of return. There you're getting free tax above 15% per year. In other words, if you put that money in the bank and you put it at 11%, probably it's going to give you a nice revenue on that, but you're going to have to pay taxes. But here, because you're self-producing your own power, it's free. It's not, you don't have to pay taxes over those savings. So it becomes a very nice investment. So that could pretty much, for most of our clients, it serves to take care of that concern of an ROI. IRR, it's to us, it's more from an investment standpoint a little bit better. As we transition, and I think that what I was going to say, that as we transition in the next 5 years, these systems will not be something that you will have to choose to add or not. The grid worldwide, it's not only here in Mexico, particularly here in Cabo, no? All developments in Los Cabos, from north to south, they are suffering this problem, and it will get worse. So the same way that you purchase your air conditioners and your TVs and stuff, you're gonna have to do this. And this aligns to what I personally believe, that it's the way that we will transition to renewable energy. It requires individuals like you and myself to make this commitment. Produce your own power locally, consume it in your house, self consume it, and don't bother depending on a greater grid that might give you a nice service or could burn your appliances, and it's never going to take responsibility for it. But it's also going to charge you a fortune in the quality power that they're giving you. So to me, it's all natural. There's no noise. I mean, have you experienced any?
No, I know nothing. No
No,
noise.
no noises, no like blackouts when power goes, transitions between grid, and I mean it's so dependable, Michael, and I invite everybody to do this. Technology is improving, cost wise. We've seen a reduction of about 45% in the last 5 years in the cost of the batteries, which is the most, we'll go through your system to show everybody, but the batteries tends to be the most expensive part. I think that batteries is really going to become a commodity. The manufacturers are coming up to speed in that formula of volume.
Well, they're scaling. Yeah, they're making more of it, so it's going to come down in price and competitive nature and everything.
Exactly.
So no, I couldn't be happier. I mean, it's not easy to write that check, but after you do it, it sure feels good.
Oh yes.
And kind of the last thing is that it's just environmentally clean. You know, if there are people out there that just want to be, you know, good stewards of the environment, there's probably no better investment than you can do personally than this. Yeah. So for all those reasons, I'm in, and I recommend it to all my clients. I think this is, like you say, it's something of the future. So perhaps maybe now is the time to kind of like talk about specifics and take a look at my system.
Sure.
And maybe just an explanation of how it works and why you did certain things, and we can just take a look at the installation itself.
Sure. There's many concerns and lack of education about what these systems are. Many people think they are an eyesore or they're horrible. I mean, if they're not put together by someone who really takes about and cares about the details, yeah, we've seen ugly systems. But if they follow the lead of what we're doing and everybody to see your system, it really blends with the nature of your house.
No, you've done a great job. I mean, even people, when I show them my batteries and stuff, they're actually good looking.
Yeah,
I mean,
people are pretty handsome.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like jewelry for women. It's like jewelry for men. It's their batteries in their garage. Exactly. So,
yeah, no,
well, let's take a look. Let's go out and take a look at the panels.
Let's go.
All right, what do you want to tell us about this installation? I mean, I think the best part about it is it's good looking. So tell us how you accomplish that.
So Michael, this is a product that we feel very proud of. This is a company called Maxion, which is part of SunPower. Maxion produces this brand and this technology of solar panels that if you look closer, I mean, you kind of need to be a little solar geek to notice. But we don't have front contactors, so you don't see like wires in the front of the cell. They're all hidden in the back, blended in the cell. So what that creates is that the power is produced cooler. There's room for expansion and contraction because we do have very diverse weather here. If you use a conventional Asian brand, expansion and contraction could jeopardize the longevity of your solar panels. These ones, they have a 40-year product and performance warranty.
Wow.
It's proven the racking system that we use, that it's beneath the solar panels. It's proven to be hurricane proof. I don't know if you all remember that hurricane that we had in 2014.
How could I forget? Odile, Cat 5.
We had about 8,000 solar panels installed and we didn't lose one.
Wow.
So you're not only building your own power, but it's also gonna power you after the aftermath. And I think we were without power for like 25 days.
I'm
So
counting on that, by the way. I'm counting on having power after the big
Michael,
hurricanes.
I was one of the few in where I live. I live up the hill from Costco, and I was actually turning the lights off so nobody
No one knew you
knows that I was there. Um, but it's like that. This
Cool.
will resist a Hurricane Cat 4, no problem. The footprint, as you can see, has very detail and a lot of thought about how to put it in your roof. My engineering team, if you see, they are below the parapet wall,
Yep.
which ensures that it's not a problem to your neighbors.
Visually.
If someone has to go to their terrace and look at these, it looks center, organized. There's no wires. All the conduits are hidden. All the
It's a super
materials.
clean install. I don't mind. I look at it from my office, and I think it's better than looking at the flat roof, to be honest with you.
Gathering dust, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, well, let's go see.
Let's
the
go
rest
see.
Of the,
Yeah, this is connected to the batteries. We built that conduit while construction.
Yep.
We can always do it
Retro.
and let's go to the battery.
Okay. Well, you can see by how clean this installation is. I mean, if you want to talk about the inverters and the batteries, just feel free to tell us what all this is.
Sure. So first of all, these are of course the batteries. The chemistry that we're using is lithium iron phosphate. There are, Michael, hundreds of different companies out there. I was just in a show in LA where there's Walmart-sized compounds of people showing. Many of them are startups. We choose only those who provide the security to us that it's a chemistry that can stand this weather, meaning that they can operate at 115 degrees Fahrenheit if they have to. They will actually stop operating at 100 degrees Celsius, which is like 200 and plus.
Right.
So there's no fire risk. Other chemistries available in the market that could seem similar could be a fire risk, but not the ones that we use. These, I mean, if you touch them, there's no.
Well, we've air conditioned this space too.
It's really a luxury. The air conditioning that we have here in the top will allow your batteries to live for 30 years.
Oh, nice.
So the batteries are connected to these hybrid inverters. Technology has really improved. Not so long ago, we had to put a lot of charge controllers, and the system was bigger. So technology advancing allows us to put these hybrid inverters by this company called Solarc, which we are their partners here for all Mexico. They receive the power from the solar panels that we looked at. Then we, as part of our engineering work, we built this stainless steel duct to hide everything from debris or animals that could get into it. And then all the wires are organized in there, connected there, protected against the environment or anything. And you don't hear any noise or nothing.
You don't even feel them running. I mean, when you touch it, there's no vibration really. There's no noise. No, nothing. I mean,
and I was actually looking at your load. You have 15,000 watt load going right now, and this is not even blinking.
Right. It's not working that hard.
No, well, you have two 15s, so you have 30,000 watts of load, so meaning that it can tolerate peaks and compressors going on and off. Seamless. It's really dependable and small. I don't know if from the video you can show how tiny this is.
No, it's not. It's probably 4 feet by 8 feet.
Exactly.
And it's running the whole house.
Sometimes we don't have the chance to put this in a.
Well, we designed it this way, so
the house was designed around it. Sometimes we put it like in a corner in the garage. We don't really care if it's air conditioner or not. the system will tolerate heat, no problem.
Okay.
It will shorten the life of the battery, so probably instead of 30 years, it'll live 18, but still it's a long term.
Right.
And that's what we do. We want to go in, install a system, give you the peace of mind, and not having to go back to replace components and things. No?
Well, it's funny because you asked me about my golf carts, and they're electric too. So
That's
I have
amazing.
free fuel
There you
for
go.
running all my vehicles. You
Yeah.
know, the next thing I guess would be a buy. We're actually looking at a Mercedes EQS, trying to think about whether to buy an electric vehicle.
I think you definitely should.
Yeah, well, that's kind of next on our list. So that
Yeah.
may be. I also want to show all of the viewers your proprietary software and how it runs, how you view my system and how I can view my system.
Sure.
So let's go take a look at that.
Let's go. So this power flow is connected and showing the information about what all the assets are doing. We can see the solar panels feeding power. They're feeding 15.9 kilowatts, and we can choose and decide priorities. We can modify this per user preference. We can decide to send 100% of this power to the load, or we can send part of it to the load and to the batteries to minimize how much power you're pulling from the grid. In other possibilities is that we send 100% of this, and just because we know that's going to be sunny, then allow the battery to recharge only with excess power. So it's really a configuration that we can always change or modify. Some of us, but myself, I like to just make sure that my batteries are 100% charged because I live off the grid. Some clients say, well, if my load is not there, or I go out golfing or etc., then I can just allow the solar to recharge later. Every day the batteries get charged 100%. So it's really dependable on, or for example, if you have an empty house, you may want to minimize 100% that you're not pulling any power from the grid. No? So those priorities can always be changed or modified.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, well, you're smart. That's for sure.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Michael.